Another weak answer from a weak leader, Mr. Speaker.
Hello guys, Nardino TV again, and we are back again with another video. So for today guys, ang pag-uusapan natin is about politics guys. Pero sinabi ko naman sa inyo nung mga past ko na mga video guys, wala talaga akong hilig sa politics, no? Kahit saang bansa guys, kahit nga sa Pilipinas, ayokong i-content yan kasi talagang hindi ko siya forte or hindi ko siya hilig, di ba? Pero guys, kaya ako siya nako-content ngayon. Kasi yung mga pinag-uusapan ngayon when it comes to politics like kay Puliv at saka kay Justin is regarding pa rin sa immigration, di ba? Na malaki ang impact niyan sa buhay Canada natin dito, right? At saka yung sa mga nagbabalak pumunta dito sa Canada. Kaya gusto ko ring i-share, right? So ngayon guys, ang topic natin ngayon is about doon sa sinasabi nga ni Puliv na dapat is maging maging strong ang immigration system, no? Parang ang gusto niya mangyari is talagang mass deportation guys, no? Yung sa mga walang mga papel, no? Currently guys, ang sabi sa article, no, na nabasa natin galing sa Toronto Sun, no? Ang sabi guys, ang nasa pipeline ngayon or yung minomonitor ng Canadian government is nasa 450,000 na ipaprocess nila for deportation. But out of that 450,000, meron doon 30,000 guys na wanted na. Ang thing doon is hindi alam ng Canadian government kung nasan yung 30,000 na yun, no? Kasi guys, kung matatandaan nyo, naging topic ko to dati kung ano ang magiging process pag nawalan ka ng papel dito. Panoorin nyo na lang guys para sa complete na details kung ano ang mga possible na mangyayari sa inyo kapag nawalan kayo dito ng status. Pero sa pagkakatanda ko, 3 stage yun guys. So merong departure order, exclusion, and then yung pinakahuli guys is yung deportation order. Alam ko guys, pag nawalan ka ng papel dito, departure order, kailangan mong umalis ng Canada within 30 days. Right? Pag hindi ka nakaalis ng Canada within 30 days, yung departure order mo, magiging deportation na. Ang ibig sabihin nun guys is magiging barred ka na from returning to Canada. The only way na makakabalik ka dito sa Canada is through ARC or yung authorization to return in Canada. I think that is a documentation na ipapaliwanag mo kung anong nangyari at kung bakit kanila kailangan tanggapin ulit. Parang ganun, no? As much as possible, yan yung iiwasan natin. So ngayon guys, ang process pa is pag umexit ka, kailangan mong i-advise si CBSA nung mga details and documentation like yung flight mo, kung kailan ka aalis and everything. Kailangan mo silang i-advise guys, no? Para ipasok nila sa system yon para maklear yung name mo kung sakaling babalik ka uli dito sa Canada guys. Makikita sa system or sa database ng Canada na umalis ka talaga ng Canada within that 30 days, no? Or yung sa mga binigay nila sa yung notice, sumunod ka, right? So para pag bumalik ka dito, malinis, di ba? So yun yung pag-uusapan natin for today. Kasi personally ako, no, yung process na yun na i-inform mo pa si CBSA, parang sa akin is kinda hindi naman weak, no? So parang hindi na naaayon sa panahon ngayon na meron na tayong mga teknolohiya, di ba? Or yung mga technology and system in place or yung information technology in place, di ba? Sabi ko nga, makakatulong sa atin ang information technology basta alam natin gamitin. Okay? So ngayon guys, panoorin muna natin yung sagutan ni Puliv at saka ni Justin, no? Regarding dito pa rin kung paano i-monitor ng Canadian government yung mga processing sa mga ma-expired, yung sa mga made-deport and everything. Kasi tulad yan guys, yung 30,000 na yun, hindi na alam kung nasaan. Kung mapapanood nyo sa video guys, napakasimple nung tanong. Okay? Merong X number ng made-deport. Ano ang tools or system ni Canada to monitor those people na talagang makakapag-process sila ng tamang papers or makakaalis talaga sila ng Canada? And this is very vital, guys, no?
Concerned the Prime Minister is too weak to do that. And the data from his own immigration department confirm that fact. According to documents produced by his ministry, there are between 20,000 and 500,000 people in Canada that are not supposed to be here. And there are another 3 million that have to leave within the next year. What is the plan to ensure that people who should leave do leave?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, every year there are visitor visas and work permits and student visas that expire, and every year the vast majority of those people return home to their countries. We have procedures and processes in place to make sure that that does happen. We have consequences if they don't. We will continue to strengthen those. But continuing to talk down our country, continue to talk down our systems is something that the Leader of the Opposition is doing because he's more focused on trying to get elected than he is on actually solving the problems Canadians are facing. That's why we continue to step up and deliver on the needs of Canadians.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Another weak answer from a weak leader, Mr. Speaker. The reality is he says that people just voluntarily leave when their permits and visas are up. But his minister admitted this week that that is impossible to prove because they don't keep track. And the closest thing they could get to an answer was their department saying estimates from academic sources range from between 20,000 and 500,000 persons, although there may be more. We're talking about people who should not be in our country. So once again, what is the plan?
It's very simple.
Honourable Prime
Just
Minister.
if the visa's expired,
Once
send them
again,
back.
we laid out an immigration plan just a few weeks ago that talks about how we're going to make sure that our immigration numbers allow for our economy to catch up, for our home building to catch up. We have a strong and robust immigration system that has delivered for Canadians over decades now. And the fact that the Leader of the Opposition continually throws up his hands to say that Canada is broken is talking down not just our institutions, but Canadians themselves. Canadians are optimistic and ambitious about the future. That's why we continue to invest in them. His answer is cuts to services, cuts to benefits, cuts to Canadians.
So yun guys, so yun yung maikling clip no ng sagutan nila ni Poliv at saka ni Justin no. So kayo na ang humusga guys no. Kasi para sa akin yung question kasi ni Poliv is just data no. Data and plans. Kung paano natin i-monitor yung mga paaalisin at yung mga magi-stay, making sure na meron silang tamang mga papers, 'di ba? At hindi sila mag-overstay dito. Sabi nga niya na ang PM daw natin is weak, 'di ba? Siguro that is a comparison with US, 'di ba? Alam naman natin ngayon guys na si Trump is talagang ang first niya na gagawin talaga is linisin yung wala mga papers, yung mga undocumented na immigrant sa US, no. So si Poliv gusto niya ganun din yung mangyari dito sa Canada na kailangan maging firm, no? Na kapag talagang nawalan ka ng papers dito, kailangan mong sumunod doon sa mga process, no? Hindi ka pwede dito mag-overstay. Ngayon, yung question nga niya na ano yung plano, ano yung system in place to monitor, yun yung hinihintay na sagot. Ang problem, hindi ko alam no, pero sa akin wala akong nakuwang sagot doon eh. Kasi kung meron talagang numbers, kung meron talagang system in place to track those people na talagang walang mga tamang papers dito sa Canada, madali lang sana yung sagot, di ba? So now guys, tignan natin in detail kung ano ba yung 30,000 na yan or kung saan yan nanggaling. As per dun sa article ng Toronto Suns, no? Ang sabi, yung 30,000 na yan is currently wanted na. Sinabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, yung tatlong stage na yon, di ba? At ang pinaka-last is yung deportation. They are now wanted because they failed to appear for deportation proceedings. Yun nga yung sabi ko na nahaharap sila sa CBSA kasi kailangan mong sabihin or ibigay lahat ng information ng pag-alis mo sa Canada. Right? This is very very important guys kasi kailangan nilang i-record lahat yan para just in case pag meron ka ng tamang mga papers at gusto mo pa rin dito sa Canada, makikita nila sa database nila na you are clean, no? Na talagang nung nagkaroon ka ng notice, umalis ka ng Canada. Okay? At ang sabi dito guys, yung concentration daw nung 30,000 na yan, out of 30,000, yung 21,000 guys is nasa Ontario. Yan yung pinaka-largest na numbers or yung province kung nasaan yung 21,000 na yan. Right? At ang sabi dito, since October 21, nasa 457 na yung pinaprocess for deportation. Okay? At halos lahat yan is nasa working category. Hindi lang nasabi dito kung anong klase, kung open, close, di ba? Walang masyadong detail. Basta ang sabi nila is nasa working category. So ito guys, ang sabi dito, after daw sa Ontario, di ba? Sabi nga nasa 21,000 doon. After nun, ang susunod na pinakamarami is nasa Quebec, 6,109. Susunod po, yours truly, British Columbia nasa 1,390. Susunod po ang Alberta, 705. And 0 to 100 daw is other provinces and territories. Okay? At ang sabi pa, with regards doon sa nationality, ang pinakamarami daw guys is Mexicans. Okay? Nasa 7,622 Mexicans. And then susunod po yung mga Indians. Nasa 3,955. 1,785 Americans, 1,516 people from China, 864 from Pakistan, 858 Nigerians, and 794 Colombians. So far, wala pong Filipino, no? Pero again, hindi ko alam kasi ito guys, meron dito other notable numbers. 26 people po is unknown citizenship, 83 people who are stateless, 13 Palestinians, 24 North Koreans, and 56 Russians. So I hope talaga walang Filipino, 'di ba? At least on that side, that's kind of good news, 'di ba? Na walang kababayan natin ang wanted. With all of this, guys, para sa akin, ang comment ko lang is doon sa processing, no? Kasi nga, 'di ba, ang sabi, so kapag nakatanggap ka ng notice, bago ka umalis ng Canada, kailangan mong pumunta sa CBSA para ibigay lahat ng documentation and everything patungkol dun sa pag-alis mo. Okay? Para sa akin, it's kinda unnecessary, no? Kasi guys, with all the technology that we have right now, 'di ba? Halimbawa, yung dun sa 30,000 na yon, may 10,000 na umalis. So bakit hindi kayang i-integrate yung mga system na meron dito sa Canada, pati yung mga data na meron tayo? Bakit pa kinakailangan ng proceedings na ganyan? Again guys, hindi ko alam yung complete na process, no, kung paano sila madedeport. Pero yung tracking lang naman, yun kasi yung main question ni Poliv kay Justin. Paano natin mamomonitor yung mga umaalis na yan or yung mga pinapadeport natin, di ba? Paano natin sila mamomonitor? And guys, yung system in place, napaka-importante niyan para sa akin. Kasi di ba kung matatandaan nyo, yung dun sa last ko na post, come December 2025 guys, may 4.9 million ang mawawalan ng status dito sa Canada. At kung walang system in place to monitor those people, paano natin ngayon masasabi na effective yung mga pinagagawa nila na mga policy and changes dito sa immigration ng Canada kung wala tayong tracking, di ba? Kaya napaka-importante nun para sa akin. So yun guys, no, and I hope yung mga kababayan natin na talagang naghahanap ng ways kung paano makakapag-stay dito ng mga work permit or ng permanent residency, I really hope guys na makahanap kayo ng legal way, di ba, na magstay dito. Pero kung sakali man nadadating kayo dun sa posisyon na mawawalan kayo ng visa, I really hope na wag sumagi sa isip nyo na mag-overstay dito or mag-TNT kayo or pumasok kayo sa illegal. Kasi guys, darating yung time na pag nagpa-process kayo ng PR dito, hindi malabong hindi makita yan. Okay? At yon ay mas malaking problema. Okay? But again, I really hope talaga na lahat yung mga nangangarap ng buhay Canada dito is makakuha kayo ng valid and legal way na magstay dito sa Canada. Okay? So, yun lang guys. I hope nag-enjoy kayo at meron kayong natutunan sa topic natin for today. Again, Thank you again for watching and see you again on my next video. Peace, guys!